So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we are, we're coming back with the betting show.
You look at the way he bounces off tacklers, the way that he keeps his eyes downfield, his vision, his ability to find holes, his pass catching ability, right? Because he has.
In my lifetime, I'd put him at probably around the 2 area, with again the only other person up there being King Ricky.
Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at the 111.
Yeah.
So just hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS. We talk a whole lot of sports. Here with me, the man, the myth, the legend, Doc, and Jake Krogan. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Trying to eat this Pop-Tart because I just got home from work. I'm a little hungry. Probably shouldn't eat this Pop-Tart because I need to eat a real dinner, but yeah, it is what it is.
Today, I'm a hungry boy.
Today on this episode, we're going to be talking Dynasty wide receivers. And, last 2 episodes we've done quarterbacks, running backs. Got wide receivers here. And Jake, I feel like this is going to be, last episode we had Chuba Hubbard. This episode, I feel like it's going to get a little crazier than that.
Yeah, we're going to have 100,000 different people.
Makes for good content, though. Also,
it does.
It could help for when we want to trade. If you have a player that I'm higher on than you, and you have a player I'm higher on than you, we'll make it happen.
What's funny is, for me, outside of my top 9, you can make an argument for literally any of these guys in my eyes.
I agree. I feel like the tiers, you really have to start splitting hairs of the wide receiver tiers.
Yeah. Also, Delibo, if you're watching this, sucker railroad spike, dude. I don't think I've ever gotten a trade done with that man.
What was the offer?
The one I sent you.
Oh. Yeah, I sent him a pretty crappy offer earlier. I'm pretty sure he was pretty pissed, but it is what it is. Yeah, so defining the tiers, something we started out with every rankings episode. Jake, what went into how you defined your tiers? First off, how many tiers do you have, and then what went into defining them?
I have A, B, C, but honestly, I have the S tier as well, but there's guys that I know are going to be a wide receiver 24 next year, your top 24, that aren't on this list, but this is for Dynasty. I'm thinking 3 years ahead. So I know I'm just going to catch.
For reference, I also did leave Mike Evans and Devontae Adams off. You don't have to feel bad about that.
Oh, yeah. No, they're off. And then I also have Tyreek Hill off.
Oh, yeah. I don't have Hill on mine either. I mean, at least with Evans and Adams, they played well last year. Hill didn't do that.
Yeah. I'm just thinking Hill goes to the Bills or something, and all hell breaks loose.
Reportedly, he's not getting traded. Apparently, they worked out their differences.
We'll give you a signing bonus. Just shut the hell up.
Yeah, basically. So let's jump right into it. Once again, I have to preface at the beginning of the show, for me, I did not rank inside the tiers. So the tiers are what matter.
Yeah. And also, sorry, I guess I didn't explain my tiers. S tier is untouchable. A tier is you are more than ecstatic. It's going to take multiple firsts to probably get those guys off my team. And then B tier, it's going to be a first and something. And then my C tier, a first is probably going to get it. Just the variance first.
I was gonna say, so I'm looking at the list of names that I have, and every single one of these players, it would take at least one first. like all the way through my S, A, B, C. It would even in my C tier, and even the guys that are in my C tier that didn't necessarily crack my top 24, it still would take a first four. My C tier could expand probably like 5 or 6 more names easy, but I did limit it to the top 24. So without further ado, the S tier. And Jake, I want you to introduce the newest member of your S tier.
Hey, I'm in the podcast. I gotta go. Bye.
That was weird.
Yeah. So what happened? Why's your hands up?
Let's try that again. Jake, I want you to introduce the newest member of your S tier.
Cortland Sutton?
I knew you were going to say that, you motherfucker.
No, it's Antonio St. Brown there. Antonio St. Brown. Oh my god. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Wow, Antonio St. Brown. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
assuming
definitely should have took a nap today, I guess.
we have the same 4 names in the S tier.
Nope. Although I did think about putting him in there. Lamb is the one I have out.
Really? How come?
But you can make the argument. I thought about it. I just didn't do it. He's proven to be quarterback proof. He had Golden Tate. Holy cow, dude. I'm all over the place right now.
This is going to be a fun episode. You're not even going to know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
How did you get Golden Tate from Cooper Rush?
I was thinking Rush, Goldmine, like 49ers, and just Golden Tate.
Surprised you didn't just say Josh Dobbs for the hell of it.
Yeah, right. But Trey Lance, all that fun stuff. I actually just moved him because it just makes sense to put him in the S tier. So
okay. So yeah, then Jefferson, Chase, Lamb, St. Brown,
and Cortland Sutton. Don't forget that one.
Do you have a particular guy that you would take over the rest? Like I know JJ seems to be consensus 1. Chase is coming off the Triple Crown year.
Honestly, personally, I would take Chase over all this. He just has the ability to have those huge games like he did this last year. And so not knowing what T. Higgins is going to do kind of changes this all up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, him or Lamb, honestly, I with me not liking golf, with Ben Johnson gone, I'm very scared for St. Brown. Love the talent. And then Jetta is Jetta. He's going to get his. But not knowing if Darnold's going to be back, if JJ's going to push the ball down the field, if he's starting, just kind of curious to.
I personally would take Justin Jefferson. Proven to be absolutely, probably the most quarterback-proof player ever in history of football, averaging like 17 points a game with Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins as his quarterback. I don't know how much worse it can get than that. But yeah, I see the arguments for all players there, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown is very consistent. Jamar Chase, absolutely nuclear. Probably has the highest ceiling of those 4 players, but I think Jetta's just has the best combination of ceiling and floor.
Yeah. I also can see Lamb returning to wide receiver 1 with Dak back, and if they do get Ashton Genty and another wide receiver, like say Debo goes there or something, just to take all the pressure off of Lamb, I could see him having another big year.
I could see him having a big year regardless. I think CeeDee Lamb's just a good talent, and Dak, they throw the heck out of the ball. That's what they do. All right, so S tier, pretty easy. A tier, I think this is where it's going to start to get dicey.
How many you got in there?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names.
I have 5.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. I already know one of them you left out.
Who?
You left AJ Brown out.
Oh.
Now I'm
Right?
very okay. So now, okay, is it one of them's MHJ for sure?
In the A tier?
Yeah, you left him out.
Yes, he's
Like,
out.
like you left him out of your A tier.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not in there.
All right, I'm curious who the other one is. So again, gotta preface, did not rank inside my tiers. I have Marvin Harrison Jr., AJ Brown, Drake London, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Puka Nacua.
Say that again?
I have Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Uh-huh.
AJ Brown,
Uh-huh.
Drake London,
Uh-huh.
Malik Neighbors,
Uh-huh.
Garrett Wilson,
Uh-huh.
Nico Collins,
Yep.
Puka Nacua.
Uh-huh. Okay. I know who it is now. And to be fair, he's at the top of my B list. And that
Okay.
is Garrett
So
Wilson.
so who's your A tier?
My A tier is Neighbors, Nico, AJ Brown, Drake London, Puka Nacua.
So I saw something real interesting. So you saw that I bought AJ Brown in a league.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown on Keep Trade Cut is like wide receiver 15.
Bro, give me that all day.
Yeah,
Twice
like
on Sunday.
he's starting to reach like massive buy territories because this guy is just elite. Like Jalen Hurts throws the ball 25 times a game, and somehow AJ Brown averages like 18 fantasy points a game. It's absolutely nuts. The guy's ridiculous.
Yeah, he is. But it's just scary not knowing with Kellen Moore being gone now, going to the Saints. Just
I think
are they going to push the ball down the field? Like, what are they going to do? Because when Jalen Hurts in that Super Bowl threw that duck ball like 10 yards short to him, I thought he legit was going to try and fight him.
so. That wasn't a duck ball, right? What had happened? What are you laughing at? That's a perfectly thrown spiral. He was just throwing a back shoulder fade, and AJ Brown beat his guy off the line by like 3 yards. It was a total miscommunication because there was a blitz coming. The throw was fine.
Okay. I mean, I didn't go back and rewatch it. I just know that he was pissed off like a mother trucker. So
Yeah, because he smoked whoever was covering him by 3
yeah,
yards. And if
I don't know
Jalen
why you would ever try and throw a back shoulder fade to AJ Brown. Just throw it up. The man's going to catch it.
I mean, he's good at the back shoulder fade, too. He does everything well. That's the other thing. I saw some stats that showed, like, since he joined the Eagles, he's, like, first in targets, first in receptions, first in yards, and, like, second in touchdowns or something like that on throws outside the numbers. Like, since he joined the Eagles, he is the best, like, outside route wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me one bit.
But the reason I'm not concerned is because AJ Brown, minus the fact that he missed time this year, has been a wide receiver one his entire tenure with the Eagles, and they've had a different offensive coordinator every year.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit that Kellen Moore's gone. AJ Brown's good.
Solid point. I agree.
The only reason he's not in my S tier is because he's 3 years older than everybody else in my S tier.
Yeah. He's not in my S tier because of age and just the lack of throwing that the Eagles do. But you ready to jump into those B tiers?
But yeah, hold up real quick. I mean, not all the way done here. So I'm curious as to why you have Garrett Wilson down there. But one last thing, like you said, you were concerned with Amon-Ra. I'm not. I personally think the offensive coordinators moving on kind of deal is a little overrated when it's viewed as like it's going to affect this person's fantasy output. Do you remember a time off the top of your head where somebody went from, like maybe elite or good to not that because of an offensive coordinator change? And I'm genuinely asking because if there's some data back, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't remember a time where good players have been not good because the offensive coordinator changed.
No, I can't. But at the same time, it's always in the back of my head, especially with how much talent they got around that team.
Yeah, it's a very good football team for a very long time, hopefully.
What's
B
up, bro?
tier. I think this is where it's going to get a little bit more dicey. So why don't you lead off with your B tier? And how many
How
names
many
do you
of
have?
you got in your B tier?
I have 6.
I have 6.
My tiers are actually pretty well balanced as far as the names. So I have like 4 in S, 7 in A, 6 in B, 7 in C.
Yeah, I got 4, 5, 6, 8, or 9. Yeah, I think that's 9. I can't math.
Now I have more names than that in my C tier. They just didn't crack the top 24.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I literally was swapping my 24 in and out for
Yeah.
like the past hour. So, but my B tier is Garrett Wilson,
Okay.
Brian Thomas Jr., Lad McConkey, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers.
Holy crap.
What?
I messed up.
You messed up.
I messed up.
Did hell freeze over?
Let me make an adjustment here real quick.
Sounds good, man. What'd you mess up on?
That actually helps me out quite a bit because I kept flip-flopping the names at 24, and now I don't really have to deal with that issue.
Fair enough. Who'd you forget? Lad or BTJ?
BTJ.
Interesting. Can't forget a LSU boy. So,
Well, it's funny because to give the backstory, if you didn't listen to the quarterback show, I start every offseason by generating my own, like, completely uninfluenced from the outside rankings. And that's how I determine, like, who good buy lows, who sell highs are, like, where I am versus the market and other people and how I can acquire guys throughout the offseason.
yeah.
I redid the wide receivers list. So I did that list on January 4th. I redid the wide receivers list 2 days ago. So I forgot him twice.
He's a forgettable guy. You know, he was only wide receiver 4 this year in fantasy football, but, you know, who's counting?
Well, I guess my question to you is, because I just put him in my B tier as well, are we too low on Brian Thomas Jr.?
I don't think so. I think a bunch of injuries caused him to be the target hog there, along with, you know, Trevor Lawrence wasn't there for most of the season, and just I'm interested to see how that offense is.
Know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put Brian Thomas Jr. at the bottom of my A tier.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. To your point, there were a lot of injuries at the skill position players. Travis Etienne got hurt. Bigsby got hurt. Ingram got hurt. Christian Kirk everybody and their mom got hurt.
Yeah.
But so did Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones stepped in, and Brian Thomas Jr. missed not one beat.
Okay, I'm just saying that's Pro Bowl Mac Jones, okay? Pro Bowl Mac Jones. It's not like he was getting, you know, some Cooper Rush or something.
Hey, bro, Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler at one point.
You're not wrong. The Pro Bowl's a joke these days, but that's for a different podcast. No, I don't hate it, but literally, if you're telling me I have to throw to Brian Thomas Jr., first-round pick, or Parker Washington, I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. no matter where he's at on the field.
That's true, and I understand that, but at the same time, targets are more earned than like carries are for say. Like you only carry 3 or 4 running backs on a roster, so when one guy gets hurt, like you open up these massive gaps. You've always got 5 guys on the route in football, so there's always 5 options on the field for catching passes. I just feel like that they're harder to earn. I feel like it's more worthy. And yes, to your point, lots of injuries, but a rookie wide receiver in a god-awful offense just finishes a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah, I just want to see it again. If he does that, he's going to skyrocket up my rankings.
If he does that again, he's going into my S tier.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit, like, I was iffy about Brian Thomas, leaning on the side of definitely being wrong about him when we talked about our rookies. What did you just see?
Nothing. I remember in auto, in our last year's draft, I had pretty much 2/3 of the draft class.
Yeah.
And I probably hit on like one person. And
that's crazy. You did have a lot. That's crazy, especially with how great the 2024 class as early on shaped up to be.
Yeah, no, and I did have Brian Thomas Jr., but I can't remember what I traded him for, which is what I'm going to check right now.
Whatever it is, it's not looking good for you.
Oh no, not at all. Pretty sure Christian Kirk was in there somewhere. So
he didn't crack my top 24. Christian Kirk, I think, is a very good buy.
Oh
God, what was it?
That's bad.
Let me see.
It was Brian Thomas, and I mean it's not terrible.
Okay, let's hear it.
Jameson Williams and a 2025 second. And I did this in July.
So who's second is it, do you know?
It's Schultz, so I forget what draft.
All the way in the back.
So it's late second?
I think so. Mid to late. I think he was a playoff team.
Yeah, that looks terrible. Okay, I think that's why his team became so good.
So Brian Thomas Jr., Jameson Williams, and a 25 second for.
No. I traded Brian Thomas Jr. for JMO and a 2025 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't give up on your rookies so early.
Here's the thought process is we did our football analysis on him, and I didn't like the film. I didn't think he ran a great route tree. He was an athletic freak. And I was just like, I'm going to trade him. Damn, that hurts.
Yeah, so hold on. I got to find it. The perfect example of don't give up on your rookies too early.
What are you looking up?
Somebody traded away C.J. Stroud for...
Oh, I think I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah, let me... So this was after the draft in 2023. Yeah, here you go. Traded away C.J. Stroud, Michael Pittman, and a 24 second for Bryce Young and a 24 third. Which doesn't look as bad this year, but you trade C.J. Stroud right after you draft him, and then he has what he had his rookie year, and Bryce Young had what he had his rookie year. That looks shitty.
I'm even more sick. It's not Jameson Williams.
No.
Yep. My homerism got me.
Okay, yeah, you got hosed.
Yeah, I got robbed. Javonte Williams, for those that are watching. I traded Javonte Williams and a mid to late 2025 second for Brian Thomas Jr.
Do not allow your emotions to control your fantasy football trades, ladies and gentlemen.
That's so bad.
Wow.
I know I needed a running back. And so at the time, I was like, he's a year removed from his ACL.
You got hosed, dude. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, no, that's bad. That might be one of my worst trades.
That's probably one of the worst trades I've ever heard. I'm not even going to lie.
But, I mean, that's looking back.
But, yeah, to your point, we both kind of had the same iffy analysis. Brian Thomas Jr., absolutely freak athletic. And the three routes that he did run every play in college, he ran them pretty well. The problem was the route diversity. That was my big question. And I was like, in the NFL, you're going to have to run more routes. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. And as it turns out, in the NFL, you don't have to run more routes because Brian Thomas Jr. still just ran right by everybody.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, I guess that 4.2 speed's good for something.
Yeah. No kidding. So, yeah, you want to read out your B tier again?
Yeah, my B tier is Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers.
Okay. Yeah. Oh okay. Like I said, B tier is going to be where we're real different.
Yeah, and I preference this with you can make an argument to put any of my guys in the C tier and the B tier here. I just have reserves about wide receiver competition. And this is prior to the rookie draft. So we have no idea what's happening. And
Very
these are
true.
more than likely going to get changed.
Which is why we're going to do it again in August. But
Yeah. But Brian Thomas Jr. right now, all he has is Christian Kirk essentially coming back from an ACL injury.
Evan Ingram is still there.
Still there, but old as dirt. Ladd McConkey has Quentin Johnston as his receiver competition. Brandon Ayuk
there's
coming
no
back from
way the Chargers
coming
don't
back from an ACL with Debo seeking a trade right now. So to me, he's a great buy low.
Oh yeah. I have Ayuk in my B tier as well.
Olave, they just put him on the curb for right now. Just he was hurt. They weren't winning anything. They didn't even try and risk him getting even more hurt. And then Zay Flowers has no wide receiver competition either. Rashad Bateman's it.
He has Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson running the ball 800 times each a season competition.
Yes, but he still is the only receiving threat.
Yeah, but he has Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. They throw the ball to their tight ends. Same thing with Jacksonville. I know you said Evan Ingram's old as dirt, but I mean, tight ends generally come around a little older.
I get it, but I mean, they still performed well.
Sure. So my B tier is DJ Moore, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ladd McConkey, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, and this name I did intentionally put at the back of the B tier because this could change. This could get real interesting. It's Rashee Rice.
So you have Rashee Rice in your B tier, Devontae Smith in your B tier. Who else?
And DJ Moore and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think the only names we have similar are McConkey and Ayuk.
Okay, and to be fair, JSN's at the top of my S or C tier, but with DK Metcalf there, I would much rather have Zay Flowers over JSN.
No, not a chance. Not for me. Not a chance.
Okay.
Where was DK Metcalf last year when JSN finished top 10?
Oh, God. Timmy just did the interested in T. Higgins thing. Yeah, I just cringed. Sorry. Verbally said, oh, my God.
Yeah, we heard it. But no, seriously, where was Metcalf last year when Jackson Smith?
Bro, he started out on fire. Let's not act like he wasn't fantastic.
Who?
DK.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that, but this is about Jackson Smith and Jigba. You said DK Metcalf is there, that's why JSN is lower. DK Metcalf was there last year, too, and JSN was still a top 10 guy.
What? Wait, JSN did not go back-to-back top 10.
No, he didn't, but he finished as a top 10 guy this past season.
Yeah.
With
but
Metcalf.
He caught fire at the end, too. Oh, that's 2023. I was like, I know he had better games than that.
Yeah, I'm confused by your logic because Metcalf and JSN were both there last year, this past year, and JSN finished 13 spots higher than Zay Flowers.
Look, he had 4 games under 7 fantasy points. last year. I'm just saying, if he is my wide receiver 1,
Zay Flowers had 6. And has less target competition. Your words, not mine.
no.
I think
still take Zay over JSN.
I think that's wild.
Well, if you have any, do I even have any JSN? I don't even think I have JSN stock. Might have a few.
Not in any leagues we're in together.
No, well then I probably don't.
And you don't have DJ Moore either?
Oh no, I don't want DJ Moore at all.
That is interesting. How come?
Just age, Rome, Adunze being there.
Age.
I think Cole Kmet's finally going to start getting used.
You've said that for years.
Hey, outside of the last year, it's been good.
Oh, age. Without looking, how old do you think DJ Moore is?
Is he not 28?
He's 27.
When did he turn 28?
I think after the season starts.
Uh-huh.
I think it's like September. I think he's a September kid. Like it's real. Him and like Terry McLaurin are like real early in the season age turners.
Well, to be fair, DJ Moore is at the top of my C tier as well. So,
with how badly everybody was shitting on Caleb Williams, the fact that DJ Moore finished as wide receiver 16 still.
dude, but he had huge games and then he had duds.
Nope, he had less single-digit fantasy point games than Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay, fair enough. You can still have
not only that, as Williams got more comfortable throughout the season, right? So from week 13 on, here's DJ Moore's target share. 16, 8, 8, 10, 8, 10.
It's good, man. You can hype him up all you want. It's just my personal preference.
Getting Ben Johnson too.
That is true.
Incoming Amon-Ra St. Brown role.
Huh.
Do you have Devontae Smith in your C tier?
That's literally what I'm looking up right now because I do have Devontae Smith shares. And I don't have him in my C tier.
Yeah, I'll take him off your hands. Don't worry.
To be fair, I was flip-flopping him and my guy at 24. So he's there. Just
yeah, I'll take Devontae Smith from you.
I mean, I get it. Dude. But okay, my C tier.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. So let me recap my B tier real quick. DJ Moore, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Lad McConkey, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice. C tier. Go.
I only have one stock of Devontae. It's in auto if you want him.
Of course, the one league I literally don't need anything at all in.
Right? Oh, poor you. It must be so tough.
3 years in a row, runner up.
Yeah, that is kind of ass. Well, my C tier is JSN, Jalen Waddle,
Okay.
Rashee Rice,
Okay.
DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Pittman,
oh gosh.
T. Higgins,
Okay.
Scary Terry,
Okay.
and Xavier Worthy.
I knew Worthy would sneak his way in there for you.
I just can't negate what you saw at the last 5 weeks.
Oh, no, you can't. Adding Rashee Rice back will be interesting. I'm curious as to how they split that. My C tier is Roma Dunze, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, and T. Higgins.
Wow, I don't have DK in my top 24.
It's interesting considering you just hyped him up to knock down JSN.
I didn't hype him up. I just said he's there.
To be fair, like, I'm not the biggest DK fan either, never have been, but dude just produces.
Look, I feel bad Devontae Smith isn't there. The Eagles don't throw a lot.
But he still produces.
He does.
Over
but I would
15,
much rather
over 15 fantasy points a game.
You want to know what I thought about the other day? Or literally today? Yeah.
What?
Dude, I'm so tired. I'm just trying to get this podcast done with you without, passing out. But if the Chiefs took Hampton or any running back in the first, I love Worthy even more.
I would super fade whoever that running back is. Unless it
Oh,
was
yeah.
actually.
But I'm just saying. Also don't know what the Chiefs are going to do because they look like little bitches during the Super Bowl.
Speaking of which, this is 2 days after now that my Eagles absolutely kicked the dog piss out of the Chiefs. That I feel bad for people who didn't watch the game or didn't finish watching the game and just looked at the box score and went, wow, Mahomes was 21 of 32 for 257 yards. Dude had 58 yards going into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
The Eagles just handed the entire league a recipe on how to beat the crap out of the Chiefs.
Well, dude, you can beat the crap out of any team when you get that type of pressure with 4.
0 blitzes the whole game. Isn't that crazy?
No, dude, it's insane.
I had some people at work try and tell me, they're like, no, they blitzed at the end. There were 3 plays where they sent Zach Bond and dropped a lineman into coverage. They never sent more than 4 rushers the whole game. I'm not selling that to you, just people watching.
Oh, no, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
Trust me. Zach Bond's going to be a Denver Bronco this year, and I can't wait.
I don't think we bring back Bond.
Yep.
Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, who just had the biggest games of their career on the biggest stage, are both free agents. And the Eagles care way more about linemen than they do linebackers.
Yep. And Denver needs run stoppers, and that is what Zach Bond is.
Hey, man, you guys took a linebacker from us last time, and he was dog shit, so maybe that'll happen again.
He was dog shit. I'm pretty sure he led the league in tackles.
I mean, yes, but still, he also had a what, 8% missed tackle rate?
Did he? I have no idea what his
he was. I mean, just because if you're in on more run plays, yeah, you're more likely to get tackles. But
interesting. You just hate him, but whatever.
yeah, because in reality, Alex Singleton isn't really a good linebacker. He's a 2-down linebacker. He can't cover anybody.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree there. But what's your C tier?
Roma Dunze, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins. I think Roma Dunze is due for a huge breakout.
He might. He had his games, but it all comes down to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think Keenan Allen's on his way out.
Yeah, I think they'll draft a receiver that can do similar things.
So if you had to pick one person each that could significantly climb your rankings and significantly fall in your rankings by this time next year, who would it be? Like one
The
person you project.
significant fall would be Drake London.
Okay, I think there's a good avenue for that.
And then the biggest riser for me would have to be Rashid Rice and or Worthy.
Yeah.
Whichever one comes out of that offense as the clear-cut wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Which it would be interesting because I'm assuming Travis Kelce comes back for 2025. He's already basically said he is. So,
Really?
yeah.
Maybe
So
I
he'll be
could
back
for a second this year.
He'll be back for one more year, would be my assumption. I think Rashid Rice plays more of the Travis Kelce style receiver. So I think in the long run, like past this upcoming season, there's an avenue where both Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy exist. But to your point, if Rashid Rice comes out on top with Travis Kelce there, I think that spells bad news for Xavier Worthy. I don't think Xavier Worthy can get the same kind of targets.
I think they could coexist just like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting dynamic that the Chiefs have, and I agree with your risers and fallers. I like those actually. Aww. The faller for me would be Marvin Harrison Jr. I have him much significantly higher than you. If he comes out and isn't like a top 20 wide receiver this year, I think that's going to spell problems for people.
And I will go in there and buy it all up.
My biggest riser is Rome Odunze. I like Rome Odunze. I like his ability. I like Caleb Williams. I like Caleb Williams' ability. I think he just needs to grow.
Who do you like more? Quarterback question here. Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams?
Fantasy Caleb.
Okay.
Yeah, Caleb. I think Caleb has a higher ceiling.
Yeah. I could see it, but
I have Caleb Williams in my A tier and Trevor Lawrence in my B tier. I have actually all of my rankings on one sheet. You can see everybody.
So do I. They're all there.
So yeah, that's where I have that at. So I know you're kind of in a hurry to get this show done. Thanks for sticking it out with me, bud. I appreciate it. I am also very tired, and like I said, not on air. Still like 5 to 10% not feeling fantastic from drinking an obscene amount of alcohol on Sunday. Good thing that I didn't have to stress drink the whole game. That would have probably done some really bad things for me. But nonetheless, recovered, made a half-day work Monday, full day today. Good to go.
Your Eagles won the Super Bowl. My pockets got lined with money. It was a good weekend.
So did mine. I immediately bought a Jalen Carter jersey with the Super Bowl patch on it.
Nice.
That's my boy. Shout out Jalen. I met him before, so. And fun fact, I went to figure out a jersey to wear to Bill's house for the Super Bowl. I don't have a single player who is actively on the roster for the Eagles.
Yeah, you said you didn't know who you would want.
Yeah, the last players I had were Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce.
Yep.
But thank you for tuning in to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Have a good night. Go Birds.